to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Skarlett Roxx.
Yes, and you're rocking Rocklahoma, the pre-party. That's the best night, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're so happy to be here. We're so excited. We can't wait to do this with a couple just awesome bands tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, including yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been an absolute blast doing what we've been doing, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and we're just so happy to be here.
Tell the listeners who don't even know who you are, what is it you've been doing? Tell them a little bit about you guys.
Rocking and rolling, man. We've been gigging like crazy.
Nice.
I mean, we've been with the Faster Pussycat Boys for a while now, playing shows here and there. So they're definitely not strangers to us. So it's cool to be with them at Rocklahoma.
That must be pretty cool. Even I said when I was driving over here from the airport, I'm like really excited about tonight because all the bands are good and everybody else is not going to get to see them because most of my media people, they're not here today.
Yeah.
So what's your stage show like? You guys look pretty cool. People can't see you right now, but you do look pretty cool. I'm from the original 80s Sunset Strip days, and so you guys bring me back to that.
Well, we appreciate that. A lot of us, we grew up on, watching concert DVDs and stuff as kids of, old shows like Motley Crue and Kiss, Alice Cooper, stuff like that. So really our stage show is just kind of ingredients of those different bands that we love just thrown into a melting pot, and we've just created just an absolute monster of a stage show now.
And I think that's so important because, there's bands that are good, and then you go see them live, and it's like, And then there's bands that maybe you don't know too much or you don't necessarily listen. You go see them live, and you're like, holy fuck, this is my favorite band now.
Yeah. The songs are the cake, but we bring the frosting too. So
And I like frosting. I'm a sugaraholic, so give me the frosting, you can eat the cake. But my first club show ever was Motley Crue before they had an album.
What year?
1980.
Oh. So you saw him right from the beginning.
Oh my God, he saw your dad.
Here we go.
Is Mick his dad? Because I was going to say, he's totally got the Mick Mars look, even with the hat.
I'll take it.
If you say Nikki Sixx, you might
He'd get pissed
have a
off.
stroke.
I'll look like Nikki Sixx later. Just don't worry.
So, speaking of Nikki, I used to hang out with him and Eddie Van Halen at the Troubadour while girls would walk by, and they would be just like, slut, bitch, whore, and then one of them would go backstage with them.
They'd probably fuck them too. So yeah.
That sounds oddly familiar to Ashton. You wanna elaborate on that,
I
Ashton?
like to drink a lot and easy girls.
Okay, easy girls.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Well, that was very easy in the 80s. I was at that party when Vince left with Razzle.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
We're going for some beer. Okay. Wow. And the rest is history.
I get called Razzle all the time, so maybe you're going to see me again.
Oh, maybe you are Razzle. Maybe you are Razzle. Razzle coming back. But here's what was cool. I think I was 15 when that happened or something like that. And when you would hang out with bands like The Crew, you just took their overflow. You're a 15-year-old boy, and you could have any girl you want because they're all there, and they couldn't handle them all. So you got that. And then going into the Rainbow. So I go now to the Rainbow, I'm like, how the fuck did I ever get in here at 15 and 14 years old? Oh, that's right. I was walking in with the bands that were playing at the Roxy or the Whiskey. And that's what it was. You went to gigs. You went with the band over to the Rainbow. And it didn't matter who it was. Like, I used to go to Metallica's house to go party after their gigs. You know, stuff like that. That's the way it is. So that's what you guys bring me back to.
We may be from shitty-ass Iowa, but my first time...
Start over.
Oh, we may be from shitty-ass Iowa, but my first time at a strip club, I was fucking 16 years old because I walked in with a band that I knew was playing there.
See?
So fucking, I got to look at boobies and play drums that night. So it was fucking great.
But there's a lot of good bands that come out of Iowa.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
there's two of them besides you guys playing here.
right. Well, I know Slipknot. What's the second one?
Vended.
Vended. I did not know that.
It's Slipknot's. It's Corey Taylor's son.
no
It's
shit.
Corey's son and Clown's son. Clown's son is on drums and
I forgot
Griffin
about that.
sings.
I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
I saw him in a Steel Panther show, but he wouldn't talk to me.
Corey loves Steel Panther. You know what I love about that
saw them
is
together.
back in the day, like I was a thrash metal head that you couldn't like hair metal. You know, we had all the gatekeepers like, burn all your Motley Crue shit because you listen to Slayer now. And nowadays, all those people that were the gatekeepers are all at the Steel Panther show.
Exactly.
It's so funny to me.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen Steel Panther live yet, but I think
Really?
No, I don't think I have.
We're going.
But me and Ashton have plans to go see him in December when they're doing their anniversary tour of the first album. So
Nice.
yeah, I was kind of a late bloomer on Steel Panther myself.
So how did you get to Rocklahoma? How did that happen?
We drove
That's a
here
good answer. I like that
on a
answer.
bus. Yeah.
That was a total Mick Mars
Yeah,
answer.
no. I really don't know the logistics of it. I think it was just an email was sent and we got a response and
Wow.
they just kind of said you're in, and we didn't hear back from for a while. So we were like, I wonder if is this actually true? And then we started getting, okay, we need this from you, and we're like, okay, we're actually going to do this. And it kind of took us off guard for a second. So we wound up getting some shows lined up on the way down here too, just so make a whole trip of it.
Yeah.
So when we saw we were doing the pre-party with Fast Pussycat and Tom Kiefer, we couldn't have been more happy with
Yeah.
the lineup tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, it couldn't be better. And this is so typical. Tonight is typical Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
Because Rocklahoma for years has always been that old school rock and roll 80s metal type of thing. So you guys fit right in. You are a Rocklahoma band.
Well, we're proud to be.
So what was that one moment in time, different for all of you, that you knew this is what you had to do?
Well, when I was a kid,
When I texted you.
yeah, that was part of it because the guys, they needed a guitar player, so I came in and things went really well. But when it comes to music, doing music in general, there was nothing really else on my mind other than doing something like this. Why wouldn't you want to travel and play rock and roll shows and melt people's faces off?
Was there experience that you had that made you like, oh, I want to do that?
Listening to music growing up, definitely watching those concert films, doing
Yeah.
that, those sorts of things.
How about Mick?
So, shocker. I saw Motley Crue as my first show.
There it is.
I was 7 years old.
Wow.
I was up front on my dad's shoulders, and Nikki brought me on stage.
Nice.
So, first show right out the gate. This to set the bar. But no, yeah, Motley's my favorite. First time I heard them, it was like, I got to do this.
Right?
And then I saw what they looked like, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I really have to do this. Yeah, the stage shows and stuff like Alice and, Motley and all those guys, that's what we love to do. And that's
Yeah.
what we've all wanted to do always. So,
There you go.
yeah.
And so I love that story because I think more kids need to have that experience. Like that experience when you're a little kid like that and to be brought up on stage, you can't possibly ever forget that.
Yeah.
Ever. That's like the best memory ever, I would think.
For me, I'm thinking, well, it's kind of similar to Jax's. I was probably about 5 years old on my dad's shoulders at a Kiss show.
Nice.
At first, I was always like, oh, I want to play the guitar solos and stuff. I want to play the guitar solos, and at the time it was Tommy Thayer, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And then once I got closer to middle school, I was like, you know who gets laid? Paul Stanley.
Right.
So, ultimately I became a bigger Paul Stanley fan, and I just wanted to play rhythm guitar, dance around, and sing.
There you go.
So that's kind of what inspired me to start doing it all.
I love it because I was a Kiss freak when I was a kid. The first album I ever had was their original album. I won it at the boardwalk at the Jersey Shore.
Well, my name's Deuce, so I'm named after a Kiss.
Well, there
song.
you go.
It was
I
meant
mean,
to
it
be.
was destiny.
Oh yeah.
Mine's a bit different than everyone else's. I grew up in like the punk rock scene.
Nice.
So, like 12 years old, I had my mom drop me off at basement shows and shit. And we played this Halloween party. I put together my own band for my first show of all time. And I ended up leaving with a lady. So, therefore, playing music rules.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, when I went to that first Motley Crue show, they weren't hair metal, they weren't glam, they were actually horror punk.
Exactly, because punk rock rules
Who's
entirely.
who's your favorite punk band?
You got to give me a little bit of a stipulation. Like what era? It depends.
Well, it has to be a real punk band because I'm old school.
Would you
Pop punk is
classify-
not punk.
Would you classify No Effects or no?
Yes, I'm going to
Then
their
No
final
Effects.
show.
I want you so bad.
Doing
That's
their
my
final
favorite
show.
band.
Fat Mike is the funniest motherfucker on the face of the earth.
Exactly.
And talented.
100%. He's one of the best bass players I've ever fucking seen.
And he is the epitome of punk rock.
Yeah, 100%. He wears a dress on stage, and he's like 40, 50
And don't
years
give
old.
a fuck.
Yeah, he rules.
So speaking of that, we were talking before the show. And so we decided I'm going to do a new question I've never done before with you guys. What's your favorite curse word?
Curse word. For me, fuck.
Motherfucker.
I'd probably say fuck most.
Watch yourself.
Fuck. Okay, fine. Cunt.
Oh, that's a rough one
That's
nowadays.
a rough one, yeah.
That's why it's funny.
Okay, that's
See,
why,
you need to
that's why
play
it's
in
funny.
the UK because that word's acceptable in the UK. So you'll need to go play there. Play like download.
He says he's from the UK, but he's actually from Oklahoma.
That is true.
Are you from Oklahoma?
I was conceived here.
You're an Okie
Yeah, my parents fucked here, if that's what you're asking.
at Rocklahoma.
No.
The story couldn't have been that cool.
I know that would be cool.
Oh,
like,
well, if you're wondering, my dad's wiener entered my mom's vagina.
But it wasn't at Rocklahoma.
but it wasn't at Rocklahoma.
My parents are cousins.
That would be West Virginia.
It's true, though. Oh, the best part of me ran down my mom's leg.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's definitely fun. So, what's one story, good or bad, in your whole musical journey that when you're like 80, you're gonna share?
Okay, so it was
Me too.
It was the first kind of big show we ever got asked to do. We were in East Moline, Illinois, and we were It was a whole tour. It was L.A. Guns, Faster Pussycat, and Tom Kiefer. They were touring all around the U.S. But there was one date where Tom Kiefer wasn't on the tour, and we reached out and said, hey, do you guys need another band? And they were like, and I remember standing backstage ready to go on at that show, just nervous as all hell because we had like over 1,000 people at that show, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually happening. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Well, you see what happens tonight.
Don't give this to me.
Okay, what was the question?
Story, good or bad?
Good or
wild,
bad?
crazy, sucky, whatever. That when you're 80, you're going to talk about.
Well, I've since got over this. Deuce, you know what I'm about to say. Right when we started, I would have this thing where I would be up there singing, and I would get this acid reflux right here in my throat.
Yeah, that sucks.
So much so that we carried a bucket with us to every show.
Wow.
On my side of the stage, just to be ready if I spewed.
Wow.
So that's a bad one. But, I mean, there's so many good ones, man. Like, every show we do, it's like, this is going to be the best show. And looking out and at the crowd is what gives us all the energy.
That's it.
If we think we suck up there and they're, giving us the energy, That's all that matters.
That's usually what happens, too. When you're like an artist, you're so critical of yourself that you think you suck and everybody's like cheering.
Right.
You know, like I remember 1983 to Us Festival, David Lee Roth forgot the words saying, talking about love, and he told the crowd of 300,000 people after Eddie's looking over, why aren't you singing? And he's like, I fucking forgot the words, and 300,000 people roared like it was the best thing ever.
You were there?
I was there. There was only one person that heckled him for it. And he turned to him and he goes,
Don't be squirting water at me.
no, he goes, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend.
pal.
Totally.
Yeah, no, going off of Jax's bucket story, you know, me and Jax, we split lead vocal duties. And, you know, there would be some moments we'd be mid-song and, you know, there's no words going on right now. I know what he's doing. And I'd jump in and start singing for him until at least he got back.
For me, it's kind of how everything got started. For me in the band, they needed a new guitar player, and I came in at about a month to prepare. We had 2 shows back-to-back with Enough's Enough, and I had never played a show in front of people before.
Wow.
And learned all the songs. We rehearsed, which rehearsals went really well. And come the 2 nights that we played, you'd think I was nervous. I didn't feel a single thing. I was ready to go. I was ready to rock and roll.
Nice. That's usually how it is, though. Like, I'm also, you know, I'm obviously on the radio, but I'm also a professional speaker, and I'm always nervous before the mic turns on. And the minute the mic turns on, there's like a switch in my head that I'm in the zone.
Oh, yeah. Same here. It's always got those pre-show nerves, but once that first chord hits, you're good.
No doubt.
But how about that, man? First show, Enough's Enough, LA Guns. First show ever he's ever played.
Wow.
He came out just locked and loaded.
And here you are,
Yeah.
Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
You know, that's why. Right there.
Rocklahoma.
And I will tell you, before he says his, okay, that the number one response to that question is shitting themselves on stage.
Oh, that's disgusting.
So you thought yours was disgusting? I've had 5 different bands say that.
How do you shit yourself on stage?
Shitting yourself's one. I mean, I've heard of pissing yourself on stage because I know there's, you know, some people out there that like to, you know, have the need to go so they move around more.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of anyone shitting themselves on stage before. That's awful. I feel bad for not only the person shitting themselves, but also for the poor people who have to watch it run down their leg.
Don't be wearing white.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be real. I've never been nervous playing because it's kind of lame. I just don't have nerves.
I can tell because you're wearing a Firehouse Subs Firehouse hat.
You got to be honest. It's sweet.
So you can't have, there's nothing you could be embarrassed about if you're wearing that.
Exactly. But my favorite moment was probably getting pulled up on stage by Steve Brown from Trickster to come sing with them.
Nice.
I sang the wrong parts, though. I tried to sing the leads. He wanted me to sing the background vocals. My bad. I just love Trickster, so can't help it.
Love Steve.
There you
Love
go.
Steve Brown. Steve Brown rules. But yeah.
That's a cool story. So how do people reach you guys on socials, on the web, get your merch, all that cool stuff?
All of our handles on all of our social media platforms is just Skarlett Roxx. If you want to check out the CDs and vinyl that we have available for our first album, Scarlett's Web, that's available at www.scarlettroxx.com. Any people booking shows or promoters out there, if you want to get a hold of us, shoot us an email at scarlettroxx@gmail.com, and you'll get a response.
Nice. And so basically, you're going to kill it here at Rocklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners that they should look out for after Rocklahoma?
Yeah. This is the first time we're ever talking about this, actually.
Ooh, I like it.
We're currently in the process of finishing up our second album right now, writing-wise. We're probably about, 7/8 of the way there. We just need, 1 or 2 more songs done, and then we're going to be getting back in the studio and going crazy. And let's just say that this next album is going to be an absolute monster.
I love it. So everybody's got to look out for it. They have to connect with you guys on socials and keep their eyes out for the new album. And check out your merch store because that's the only way bands survive nowadays is merch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely. There's no more labels anymore.
Yeah, there's no more labels throwing you a bunch of money, drugs, so you don't know that they're stealing your money and everything else. Now you actually have to sell a lot of merch.
Yeah, it's a grind.
It is.
Definitely a grind.
Listen, my hat's off to any musician because you guys nowadays work so hard. I think people don't realize how hard it is to be a musician. They're like, oh, must be nice. And, you know, and here you are at Rocklahoma, so it must be nice. So I can't wait for your set tonight. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Yeah, and thank you for having us.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.